If you are an internationally trained teacher wanting to teach in Saskatchewan, this video is for you. I am an internationally trained teacher. My training was done in Jamaica. I did a previous video about teacher certification in Saskatchewan. You could go ahead and check that video out once you are able to. I got so much love on the video. I decided to do a part one answering some of the most asked questions, and I hope these answers will give you some clarity and some direction as you proceed with your application process. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I've selected 10 of the most asked questions that you left on the video, and I will be responding to those questions. So first of all, let me give you some background context. I currently reside in Canada. I'm an internationally trained teacher. My training was done in Jamaica. I trained at Shortwood Teachers College, and I also did my training at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. And I'm just looking down at the questions here. Can I begin my certification process from my home country? Now, this is something that I would encourage you to do if you know that you are about to relocate to Canada. Probably you're going to come to Canada as a permanent resident, or you are coming to Canada on an open work permit. So, one, you need to make sure that you are coming to Canada and you are going to be eligible to work. All right. So, should I begin my teacher certification process from my home country? The answer is yes. During my previous video, I talked about how difficult it was to gather the documents that you need from your home country. So if you have the information and the details that you are going to be relocating to Saskatchewan, I would start gathering my information from my home country while you are there, and I would begin the process from outside of Canada. Question number two. Can I apply for a teacher certificate without Canadian status? So, this is a very important question. Based on my knowledge, you have to be legally able to work and receive payment in Canada. What does that mean? You're either one, a Canadian citizen, you are either two, a permanent resident, or probably three, you have a work permit, an open work permit, or some kind of work related document that says you are able to work legally in Canada. Number three, what do I need to begin? Okay, so the person is asking, what do I need to begin? Now, if you go to the SBTRB website, it tells you and it explains to you what do you need in order to be eligible to become a certified teacher in the province of Saskatchewan. Now, one of these things includes a bachelor's in education. That is what they are looking for. There's several things on that list, but one of the main things is that you are a university graduate and your bachelor's is probably a bachelor's in education or a B.Ed. Question number four, do I need a language test? Once again, go to SBTRB website. I will link it right here. Go under the category of internationally trained teachers. Under that category, there are various countries listed. Go to your country of origin. Under your country of origin, you will see if you need to take a language test. Now, I am from Jamaica. Our first language is English. We were taught how to read, write, listen, and speak in English. And so I was not asked to do a language test. This depends on where you are from. Are your credentials in English? Based on the assessor's examination of your documents, they will let you know if you need to do a language test. Question number five. Do I need to do an upgrade? I think what the person was asking is, do I need to upgrade my qualifications once I am doing an assessment? Do I need to do further studies before I can get a teacher certification? No, I trained at Shortwood Teachers College for 4 years. When my assessments were done through World Educational Services, my diploma was valid to be a 4 year diploma program in Canada. When my bachelor's of education came back, when the assessment was done through West, it came back as a 4 year degree program in Canada. And so, once again, your need to upgrade will depend on one, where you're coming from. Are your documentations equivalent to a Canadian documentation? And it also depends on your assessor's evaluation of your documents. I did not do any further studies in order to be qualified for a Saskatchewan teacher certification. Now, let me just pause this video to say thank you, Shortwood Teachers College. Thank you to the University of the West Indies. And I'm very proud to be educated in my beautiful island of Jamaica. Question number 6. Will I get a job once I have my license? Now, bear in mind that Saskatchewan is a very big province. Where I currently reside, there are over 30,000 people. And so once I got my teaching certification, I was not employed on a full-time basis. What I did, I applied to be a substitute teacher. Being a substitute teacher is something that is recommended because you are able to work in and around the schools in your community. You can get your name out there. You can get yourself out there. You can get some experience, some Canadian experience inside the classroom prior to getting a full-time contract. So what I'm basically saying is do well in humble beginnings. Do well in how you're starting out. And you will definitely get that full-time job that you're looking for. Now, it depends where you are. Where I am, that was not my case. I was not immediately employed on a full-time basis, but I did receive 6 month contracts. I did receive short-term contracts, and eventually I got a full-time job. All right, so be patient, be patient, be patient. Number 7, can you begin working as a teacher while your papers are being processed? Based on the research that I have done in my division is no. Now, while your documents are being processed, you do not have a license to teach, you do not have a certification number, and so your division who hires you probably will not allow you to teach a classroom without supervision if you are not a certified teacher. That means you need to wait. Just wait. What I did prior to getting my license, I worked as an educational assistant. So that means I worked with a trained teacher in the classroom to help the students who were in the classroom. But could I work as a trained teacher? No, I could not. I had to wait until I got that paper that says I am now a certified teacher in the province of Saskatchewan. Number 8, is the probationary teaching certificate dependent on your status in Canada? I think what the person was trying to ask is, why did I get a probationary teaching certificate? Did it depend on the fact that probably you are a permanent resident or you are just a worker with a work visa? No. If you are applying as an internationally trained teacher, obviously you're from another country, you're from another jurisdiction. And so the 190 days, this was something that was given to me after my assessment. Mine was a stipulation of 190 days. After that 190 days have passed, I would have to go through another application process, something signed by my division, something signed by the principal of the school that I worked with, just to say that I did this amount of time in the classroom and I'm fit to be a certified trained teacher in the province of Saskatchewan. So, yes, you probably need to have some legal status in Canada, but I don't think that you getting that 190 days is dependent on your status. If I'm approved for a teacher certification, but I do not live in Canada, can I come to work in Canada? Once again, if you're an internationally trained teacher looking for employment in Canada, most importantly, in Saskatchewan as a certified teacher, you should have some legal status in which to work in the country. If you're approved to get your license, but you're not legally entitled to work in Canada, I would not know how to answer that question. So I think this connects to my first question in that if you are applying to be a certified teacher and to get your license in Saskatchewan, you should have in your mind, how am I going to be able to work legally in the country? Now, based on my understanding, unlike the United States of America, whereby they employ teachers from abroad, I've never heard of that happening in the public system. Privately, I do not know, but publicly, I've never heard of a recruitment process because I do know, based on what I can see on the ground, that even if you are finished your bachelor's degree and even if you are getting your your license, there are jobs are not just waiting for you. You have to go through some type of process, whether that is you're going to be a substitute teacher, whether you're going to work several contracts. You just have to be patient. And so if you're approved but you do not live in Canada and you do not have legal status in which to work in Canada, that is something that you have to figure out in order to be legally entitled to work and be compensated in Canada. So I hope this video helped you some. I hope that for those of you who are considering coming to Saskatchewan, you are getting the information that you need in order to get that teacher certification. It's a beautiful feeling to be able to continue in a career that you love. Just to be patient for those of you who are going through the process. Be patient. It will come, it will happen for you. And once you get that certification, I want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I will answer another 9 or 10 questions in the next video. Until next time, stay blessed, stay safe. Au revoir.